What's up, everybody? How are you guys doing? Got a truck vlog today. This one's going to be just a raw, uncut, just unfiltered video. I did one of these last week, and I was asking about the audio quality, and if you guys thought it sounded good, and you were like, yeah, that's superb. But you know what? I don't trust you guys anymore, because I found out that my audio jack that like plugs into the mic, or into the camera from the mic, wasn't plugged in all the way, so the audio should sound 20,000 times better now. But I appreciate the good feedback, so thank you guys. You seem to enjoy the truck vlog, and you guys were asking, hey, what are you driving? You know, what do you got going on here? And I figured I'd talk to you guys about that today. So first off, I'm just preaching a little bit. So, and I'm not really a preacher, I'm just a talker. Sometimes I like to listen to myself talk, and that's kind of what I want to do today. But I feel like I've got some words of wisdom to share with you guys. So today is Monday. And you know, one thing that always motivates me is seeing other people be negative about things. Like, I get on Facebook, I get on Twitter every Monday, or every morning actually, but on Mondays and Snapchat even, and all my links to those are in the description if you guys want to follow me. But I see a lot of people every Monday, they're like, oh, it's Monday, it's gonna be a long week, I hate this week, it's Monday and I'm already ready for the week to be over with. And that stuff motivates me, and I guess it's a bad thing. Like, it could be a good and a bad thing depending on how you look at it. Seeing that stuff makes me realize how good my life is, how lucky I am to be in the position that I am in, but it has required years of work. But just like anything, man, if you wake up, or you go to bed on a Sunday and you wake up on a Monday knowing, saying, oh, it's going to be a bad week, or it's going to be a long week, then it probably is. But if you wake up and if you've got that mindset, no matter what you have to do or what you're doing, where you work, what's going on in your life, if you wake up and you say, you know what, today is going to be a good day, I'm going to go out, I'm going to make the most of it, and it's going to be great. Like, I tell you, your life is going to be so much better and so much more efficient. Things are just going to go much smoother, and you're overall going to feel better because you're going into something with a positive attitude. Think of things you guys have done in your life, things you're excited for. You know, you wake up, say you're going to, like on a vacation. You know, that day you wake up to go on that vacation, you're excited, you're going into it, and every day isn't a vacation, obviously, but every day is a new journey. Every day is a new adventure in life, and you got to look at it from that mindset. Like, be excited about it. Be excited that you're waking up, and you know, you're alive. I mean, that's easier said than done. I know there's so many things going on in your guys' life, in my life, but it's all about how you handle it. It's all about discipline and your perspective on things. You shouldn't, you know, just look forward, or you could just look forward to Friday on a Monday, but just know that there's a big gap between the Friday and the Monday, and that you got to work for these things. So it kind of goes into like goals. Have goals for yourself, like long-term goals and also short-term goals to like ascertain those long-term goals. I was talking about this with my mom and actually my girlfriend's cousin the other day, and like, there's this really cool analogy I saw this one time, and it was, and I will say, like, you should always have goals, whether it be long-term and short-term goals. You should have those, because that's going to make your life go smoother. It's going to make things more efficient. You're going to have something to work towards. You're going to have a purpose. So when you wake up on that Monday, you're saying, you know what, this is a good day. It's going to be a good week, because it's just another day that passes for me to get closer to my goals. So this really cool analogy is like when you're going somewhere, say you're going to a big city, and say you live, you know, an hour away from that big city. Well, to get to that big city, obviously, there's this gap between your town and this city, and the big city is your big goal. That's what you're trying to reach. And in between that big goal and where you stand is the highway and all the cars that you're going to pass on the highway. And those cars that you pass on the highway to get to your goal, those are your short-term goals that you're like just completely annihilating. You're just blowing those out the water, reaching those goals to get to the ultimate goal, which could be anything. It could be, you know, a house. It could be, you know, you want to make $100,000 a year. Whatever it may be, it could be that new car that you want. So those are just a couple things I want to relay to you guys that you might not have ever thought about before. I always thought the analogy of like the cars and the big city was it was really cool. Might I add, it's super hot out here. I'm like breaking a sweat. I've got the AC turned down a little bit because I don't want the loud AC blowing through the camera or through the mic and it picking that up. But with that said, what I really want to do is talk to you guys about this truck. So you guys were asking about, hey, what are you driving? It's a 2017 Silverado. I bought it 2 weeks ago. And I will say, I got to throw out a disclaimer. It's sad that I have to do this because there's two types of people. There's people that are going to say, oh, you're just showing off. You're just flaunting your money and all this and that. Dude, I ain't got money, man. Like, you know, I don't really know how to respond to those comments other than the fact that I'm not showing off. What I'm doing is trying to motivate, trying to inspire you guys. I'm 20 years old. At 20 years old, I have my own small little house. I got this last summer when I was 19. So before I was 20 years old, I had my own car that I bought myself without the help of any, you know, parent figures like my grandma or my mother. I don't have, you know, my dad has never been around. But growing up, I learned very early on that if I want something, I've got to work for that. And that's what I've done. So I've done all this without the help of anybody. I'm very proud of that. And with the message I want to relay with this video is it doesn't matter what age you are. If you guys want something, you go out and get it, man. I never had anybody tell me that. I just knew that if I wanted something, I had to do it myself because I'm not as fortunate when it comes to material objects like some of my friends are. And that's okay. It's been a very big learning experience for me, and it's been a very good one. I will say, material objects I've come to know throughout my life don't mean a lot. You know, material objects can be replaced. People can't. Cherish those around you, and I promise you will be very, very successful. Before my sophomore year of high school, I was all about dressing to impress and having these name brand clothes and all this stuff. And in a video I did last week just talking about how YouTube changed my life, which I'll link in the description, I talked about how I used to be all about the material objects, the clothes and the things like that. And then it reached a point, it was my junior year of high school, I started working out and I started wearing gym shorts. They were more comfortable. My body, I was getting bigger, I was putting on muscle. And so like things were naturally not fitting because I kept getting bigger, which was a good thing. I was getting bigger in a good way. And, you know, I come to realize that it doesn't matter what you wear. Like, yeah, you feel like, you know, you have to have these to fit in, but at the end of the day, these people don't care. If they really care what you wear and if they're really judging you, honestly, they weren't your friends to begin with. So, material objects are nice. It's nice to have a nice truck. It's nice to have stuff. But that shouldn't be your ultimate, like, goal, just to be better than somebody, to have the best things. As long as it's about what you want, not what you're doing to impress other people. Because I've done that before. Done things to impress other people, and you know, they might care, they might act like you're your friend for a minute, but they're gonna be like, okay, whatever. They don't care anymore, and then you're left with, you know, whether you were trying to live above your means, buying things you really didn't need, and things like that. So my goal, or the goal with this video once again, is to just relay to you guys that be your own person. Don't be a follower. You can either be you can be a follower or you can be a doer. I don't know if that would make any sense, but I'm not one to follow people and do what other people do. I'm a very independent person. I like to do my own thing and whatever it may be. And thankfully, in my 20 years of life, I've been pretty successful at that. And it even goes back to like your job. Like you don't have to work a 9-to-5 job in life, you know, to make money. You don't have to go to school. Let me backtrack a minute. Go to school, finish high school, get your high school diploma, but you don't have to go to college to be successful. That's another big misconception. I graduated high school and I told myself I don't ever want to go back to school. I graduated honors classes, 4.0 grade point average, and I just didn't want to go back to school. I wanted to do my own thing. I wanted to be an entrepreneur. I've had this mindset since I was a little kid, and it's been pretty successful for me. I started very young. I started a YouTube channel at 14. From there, I was able to start some online businesses and things like that. And it's possible. Anybody can do it. Your parents might say, don't listen to that guy. Go to college. Have something stable. But follow your gut. Do what your heart desires. And I promise you guys, it'll be a learning experience. You will learn a lot about yourself as well as a lot about life. And you will value things so much more when you do them yourself. Like this truck I've bought, this house, all this stuff, I value it so much more because it's mine. I got it. I bought it myself. I didn't have any help. And it's not to say that like getting help from people is bad. That's not the case at all. But just the fact that when you do things yourself, you value them a lot more. So with that said, I'll show you guys the truck. I'd say it's a little messy, but it's actually not. I'm a real big clean freak. This is once again a 2017 Silverado. I guess I had to open the door. I'm like terrified of being out here like in public and showing off on the camera and stuff like that. So I guess we'll start with the inside. There's some people outside and it is very windy, but this is the inside. It's got some nice incentives, I guess, amenities, some of those, I don't know whatever word you use, but like it's got the sweet console. I got the leather seats in it and the big screen. And I want to say, like, turn the camera around. I told you guys I'm doing this like unedited, but so like never had much growing up, and to be able to work for this and have this is just super awesome. You're probably asking about that truck in the background. If you want, I can showcase that in another video. That's my bagged 81 C10. It's actually a C15, but here it is right here. It's a pretty sweet truck. Look at it from a couple different angles. The camera's zoomed in way too far, like my lens doesn't go out, but like this is a pretty cool truck right here. This is one of those, like, it's like a cruiser. I like to have like something cool just to drive around on weekends and cruise around in. But like the outside of the truck, this is called a deep blue, like ocean metallic, I think. And I really like this color. I've always liked just black and white vehicles, but with the blue, man, I thought that was super cool. And it looks really good in the sun. Check this out. And I also don't have a tripod for this camera, so that's why I'm kind of like bouncing around, and it's kind of taking me a minute to turn the camera around. But this thing looks super cool out in the sun. And so does that orange truck, man. But that's the truck for those of you wanting to know. It's a little windy, and hopefully the camera or the mic isn't picking that up too much. But hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Hopefully you enjoy and maybe learned a thing or two from it. I mean, if at least one person can take something from this as far as like priorities and not being so obsessed with material objects, that'd be awesome. If you guys want to see more videos like this, let me know. I love talking. I love to hear myself talk, but also just kind of preaching some things I've learned throughout life to you guys. So if you have any questions, feel free to hit me up on Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat. Those links are in the description. And with that said, you guys have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next video.